Dear students, welcome to second PU physics class. This is part 3 video of electric charges and fields. Here SI unit of electric charge is coulomb. Okay, it is denoted by capital C. Okay, we write electric current equal to flow of charges divided by time. Yes, here the electric current is denoted as capital I and flow of charges can be denoted as small q or capital Q divided by time t. So this implies Q equal to I into t. Okay, now so we have to define 1 coulomb. So for that we have to consider here charge is 1 coulomb, then the current will be 1 ampere and the time will be 1 second. Okay, so hence 1 coulomb is, according to this expression, 1 coulomb is charge flowing through a wire in 1 second if current is 1 ampere. Okay, got the point? So how will you define 1 coulomb? 1 coulomb is charge flowing through a wire in 1 second if current is 1 ampere according to this expression. Okay, Q equal to I into T. Okay, so let's consider one more question. How many electrons present in 1 coulomb of charge? So this is 1 mark question. Okay, here first write the given things. Given Q equal to 1 coulomb. Yes, you have to find out N, number of electrons. We know the value of elementary charge E equal to 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulomb, right? And also we know the formula, that is Q equal to N into E. Okay, so this implies N equal to Q divided by E. Q equal to 1 coulomb, E equal to 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19, which is equal to 6.24 into 10 raised to 18 electrons. Okay, so 6.24 into 10 raised to 18 electrons present in 1 coulomb of charge. Similar way, if you consider 1 microcoulomb of charge, Q equal to 1 microcoulomb, then how many electrons will be present? So this implies N equal to again Q by E, which is equal to Q equal to 1 into 10 raised to minus 6, micro means 10 raised to minus 6, divided by 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19. We know the value of 1 by 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19, that is 6.24 into 10 raised to 18 into 10 raised to minus 6, which is equal to 6.24 into 10 raised to 12 electrons. Okay, right? Next topic is Coulomb's law. So this law deals with force between 2 point charges. Okay, statement is as follows. Magnitude of force between 2-point charges is directly proportional to product of magnitude of 2-point charges and inversely proportional to square of distance between them. Okay, and force always acted along line joining 2-point charges. Okay, so here consider 2-point charges as Q1 and Q2. Q1 and Q2. These two charges are separated by certain distance r. According to the statement, here force is directly proportional to product of magnitude of 2-point charges is Q1, Q2, and again the force is inversely proportional to square of distance between them. Hence, we can write F is proportional to Q1, Q2 divided by R square. So this implies F equal to K into Q1, Q2 divided by R square, where K is proportionality constant. Okay. So let us know, so what is the value of this proportionality constant? For this, consider case 1. When 2-point charges are placed in or situated in free space or vacuum, okay, then this K value is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught equal to 9 into 10 raised to 9 Newton meter square per coulomb square. Okay, here epsilon naught is absolute permittivity of the free space. Okay, absolute permittivity of the free space. Hence, here force F can be written as F equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into Q1, Q2 divided by R square. Okay. So remember this expression. Okay. Now consider case 2. Suppose these 2-point charges are placed in medium. Okay, right. Then this proportionality constant K can be written as 1 by 4 pi epsilon. Okay, here epsilon is permittivity of the medium. Okay, here epsilon is permittivity of medium. Then force can be written as F equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon Q1 Q2 divided by R square. Okay, Here for medium, epsilon naught is replaced by epsilon. Okay. Next, so what are the limitations of Coulomb's law? Here there are two limitations for Coulomb's law. First one is, so this law is applicable for only 2-point charges. Okay. And second limitation is, Coulomb's law is applicable when distance between 2-point charges is greater than 10 raised to minus 15 meter. Okay. Right. Next, the vector form of Coulomb's law. Vector form of Coulomb's law. Okay, right. Here consider a diagram. Okay, here two charges Q1, Q2. So this is force F12 and this is force F21. Next consider origin. Okay, origin O. Here charge Q1 is at a distance R1 from the origin O, and similarly Q2 is at a distance R2 from O, and this distance is R21. Okay, R21. Right. Here R1 and R2 are position vectors of two charges Q1 and Q2 respectively. Okay. Now first calculate force F12. Okay. Here F12 is force on Q1, F12, hence force on Q1 due to charge Q2, okay. According to Coulomb's law, we can write F12 equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. Here these 2 point charges are placed in vacuum, so here the term is epsilon naught into Q1, Q2 divided by R12 square of distance between them, it is R12 or R21, into R12 cap, because you have to write the Coulomb law in vector form. Okay, so here R12 unit vector R12 represents here, so it represents the unit vector from charge Q1 to Q2. Okay. A similar way, F21 can be written as, F21 is what? It is force on Q2 due to charge Q1. Hence F21 can be written as 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 divided by R21 square into R21 cap. Okay, means here in first case we consider F12, so position vector is R12. In second we consider force is F21, so distance is also R21. Okay, but here according to diagram, so what happens? R12 is equal to negative of R21. Okay, R12 is equal to negative of R21. Hence, F21 is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 divided by R12 square R12 cap. If you substitute, here R21 equal to minus R12. Okay, so this is equation 1 and this is equation 2. From equation 1 and 2, these two forces are not equal. Yes, here positive sign is there, here negative sign is there. Hence, F12 is equal to negative of F21, correct? Terms are same. Yes, but here negative sign is there. Hence, these two forces are equal in magnitude but opposite in direction. Okay, got the point? Here in both expression 1 and 2, here magnitudes are same. The magnitudes of the force is same because the same terms are there in equation 1 and equation 2. Yes, but here equation 2 carries negative sign, means what? These two forces are equal in magnitude but opposite in direction. Okay, so consider case 1. If suppose Q1 and Q2 are like charges. So like charges means either both are positive or both are negative. Then Q1 into Q2 is greater than 0. Will you agree? Okay. Then pictorially we can draw the diagram like this. Two charges Q1, Q2. Okay. So this distance is R21. Okay. We know like charges are repel each other. Hence, this will be the direction of F12. Okay. And this will be the direction of F21 because like charges are always repulsive in nature because here forces are repulsive. Okay. Now consider case 2. Q1 and Q2 are unlike charges. Then Q1, the product of Q1 into Q2 is less than 0 because here the one of the charge is positive and another charge is negative. Okay. So now the forces can be pictorially represented as like this. This charge Q1, Q2, R21 is distance between them. Here these two forces are unlike charges. We know unlike charges are always attract each other. So this will be the direction of F12 and this will be direction of F21. Okay. So this arrow mark represents both forces are attractive in nature. Here forces are attractive in nature. Okay, right? So suppose the question is asked like this, write Coulomb's law in vector form. Then you may write, so one of these expression, or F equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 divided by R square into R cap. So this is the vector form of Coulomb's law. This is simplest vector form of Coulomb's law. Okay. Here R cap is unit vector from charge Q1 to Q2. Okay. And also you have to mention the arrow mark, means the force is vector here. Okay, right. So next topic is unit charge. Unit charge. So unit of charge is different, unit charge is different. Okay, right. Here from Coulomb's law, equal to q2 equal to 1 coulomb. Okay, means here charge, magnitude of charge 1 coulomb and distance r equal to 1 meter. Now calculate force according to Coulomb's law. F equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 divided by r square, which is equal to, we know the value of 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, that is 9 into 10 raised to 9, q1 q2 1 into 1, and distance r is 1 meter 1 square, which is equal to 9 into 10 raised to 9 Newton. Okay, unit of force is Newton. From this explanation we can define the unit charge. Okay, here unit charge is charge when placed at a distance of 1 meter, charge when placed at a distance of 1 meter from unit charge is charge when placed at a distance of 1 meter from another equal and similar charge in vacuum. Experiences electric force of repulsion of how much? 9 into 10 raised to 9 Newton. Okay, so got the point. Here charge q1 equal to q2 equal to 1 coulomb and the distance r equal to 1 meter, then the force F equal to how much? 9 into 10 raised to 9 Newton. Okay, so unit charge is what? It is a charge when placed at a distance of 1 meter from another equal and similar charge in vacuum, because we consider here epsilon naught, means here two charges are placed in vacuum. In vacuum experiences electric force of repulsion. Electric force of repulsion of 9 into 10 raised to 9 Newton. Okay, next topic is dielectric constant. It is denoted by capital K or epsilon r. Okay, remember small k is the proportionality constant, capital K is the dielectric constant. Okay, right. So first it is also known as relative permittivity. Dielectric constant is also known as relative permittivity of medium. Okay, both are same. Right. So first here, what do you mean by dielectrics? Dielectrics are actually insulators only, but there will be some conditions. So when external charge is applied across non-conducting substance, then charge appears on the surface or charges are induced on the surface. Such materials are called as dielectrics. So examples are mica, next non-conducting oil, paper, etc. Okay, right. And here what is the meaning of permittivity? Permittivity is ability of medium to allow the electric field lines pass through it. Okay, right? It is ability of the medium to allow the electric field lines pass through it. Right. So in free space or vacuum, the force between 2 point charges can be written as F naught equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into Q1 Q2 divided by R square. Okay, R is the distance between them. Okay, equation 1. Okay, if suppose same 2-point charges are placed in dielectric medium, okay, then Fm equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon. Why? Epsilon represents what? Permittivity of the medium. Okay, 1 by 4 pi epsilon into Q1 Q2 divided by R square, equation 2. Okay, so now dividing equation 1 by 2, then we get to F naught divided by Fm equal to here all the other terms are getting cancelled. 1 by 4 pi Q1 Q2 R square, all are getting cancelled. We left with epsilon by epsilon naught. Okay, so this ratio is called as epsilon R or capital K. Okay, so we may write this dielectric constant K equal to epsilon R equal to epsilon by epsilon naught. Okay, hence it is what? It is the ratio of epsilon means what? It is permittivity of medium divided by absolute permittivity of free space. Okay, absolute permittivity of the free space. Hence, dielectric constant or relative permittivity is defined as it is the ratio of permittivity of the medium to absolute permittivity of the free space. Okay, or in other words, we may write K equal to epsilon R equal to F naught divided by Fm. Okay, in terms of force. Again here, according to this expression, it is dielectric constant is the ratio of force between 2-point charges placed in vacuum to the force between the same 2-point charges placed in medium. Okay, so this definition is important, and also these two expressions. Okay, thank you.